Yesterday, we were in Cape Town as part of that Standard Bank sponsored Unlocking Africa, or Africa Unlocked event. It's really very, very important, significant event. On the way back home, it was very interesting because I got into the plane and you know that, well, let me put it this way. I get into the plane and I see the spokesperson for the Department of Basic Education. And then I see somebody in a beanie because it was very, very cold in Cape Town, as you know. So somebody has a beanie. And we start talking and I said, hey, you need to keep the lights on, man, because we're talking about the Minister of Electricity and Energy. Then I see the DG for international relations seated like 2 seats away from me, or just across the aisle, in fact. And then the lady seated next to me says, hey, you talking to all these people, who are you? And I told her who I was. And Minister of Electricity, well, he's my boss because I'm the Deputy Minister of Electricity. So these 4 people, within a few seats of each other, were seated and I was sort of in the middle of all of them. And the point I want to make is that, you know, in the past, these cabinet ministers mainly, they would only sit business class. So you would not see them. They'd come in, and they'd get out quickly before you can then disembark, and there's no contact with them. And there's the sense of, the barriers that have been put in place. So I think it's a better part, well, I think it's 2 years, maybe you can correct me, that now they travel economy class like the majority of people in the country. And there's nothing wrong with traveling business class, provided if you want to cost cut as a government, then don't use government money. So I think it's very interesting to see all these people around us. And I think that's great. And I must also tell you that South African politicians, they talk to you, they chat, they converse, not just with me, okay, many of them knew me, but I'm talking about other people. They talk to everybody, which I think is just absolutely great. And here's the point that I want to bring up. One is not just the fact that they're sitting economy class and not business class, which I think gives them a thumbs up, which is great, right? But I remember a time, and it still happens, where you'd often go to events that you could be, emceeing, and you have to wait for a government official, and they take so long to come. They could even take up to 2 hours, and nothing happens before they arrive. Or the other way is that you have a situation where this government minister comes and after that person speaks, nobody else can speak after that person. Like somehow there's this protocol. And I've always wondered, even as a moderator or a program director myself, like, what's the essence of that protocol? Like, who devised that protocol? What does it really mean? I don't know, but it is like that. If the senior person, the senior minister speaks, after him or her, nobody else must speak besides the MC for the evening, or else. And I then got thinking about what happens in many other countries, particularly on the African continent, where in South Africa, we certainly have pictures of our president and deputy stuck up on government in government offices, and that's fine. But I'll tell you what, many other countries on the African continent in particular, you can't drive 100 meters without seeing a picture of that president, and then another 100 meters and seeing another picture on the highways, and another picture another 100 meters away. And then every building site and every improvement, everything is linked and associated to that president. It's ubiquitous. It basically reminds you who's in charge. And that's not really how it should be. And so this is the point, right? What I've seen yesterday was a practical demonstration of, that leaders are the people. Leaders are the people, and they for the people, as it should be. I'm Ashraf Garda, and that's my point. Now, what's yours?